Hi guys, Genki back with another review. This will be the last time I bring up the survey because I am going to have the survey deadline be like Monday or Tuesday. I'm just trying to set things so that we can be a little bit more professional here on YouTube and on Twitch. If you've not followed me on Twitch, please go do so, and link will be in the description section. You don't have to if you aren't able to watch Twitch because of how your country is set up, or if you don't normally go to Twitch. So let's begin with the fact that this episode was entirely difficult to watch. It was not one that I enjoyed watching. I want to say that up front. I won't say this is the worst episode I've ever watched, but it was pretty difficult to watch. First part, fierce fight, Zipper Royale once a year, or Gekito shi ni ichido no Shakudo Wayaru. And then another part is Stolen Haramaki, which is like the covering Jibanyan wears, which is it Nusumareta Haramaki. And then we had the Nya experience thingy, which is what it is, the art thing. And the fur Koma is Yon Koma-san mo Shikashite, or fur Koma, maybe. And then we had Yokai Gekijo Kazukin-chan, or Little Red Riding Hood. This first segment really makes me think Hino and company are trying to completely ruin Nate. Entirely ruin Nate and Keita, Nate/Keita-kun entirely, because of how this is set up. He was in front of class and his fly was open. And of course that's an accident. I think it's happened to everyone one time. Even if you were in the privacy of your home, you've left the bathroom and kind of forgot to zip up, or something like that. Everyone's had a situation like that, or a situation where you walk out and even though you've zipped up, like your underwear is showing somehow. But we're not going to focus on this. We're going to transition to the horrible yokai that were in this competition. Ranging from the likes of Zip Unlock. Is this really a yokai's name? Pandal was that. Dumb Cat. No way. Shogunya. Blizzaria, yes, she was a part of this. Blizzy, Embarrass Keita-kun. Yeah, I know, I'm as shocked as you are. Here I thought our lovely Blizzy, Fubuki Hime, was such a girl of culture. No, she likes pulling down Keita's fly as well. Why is this even an episode? I want to say whoever wrote this, like, really needs to seriously rethink if this is meant for elementary school children, or if this is meant for, like, middle school. Even though nothing is shown, it's just a light. There's certain things that fall into the line of, like, oh, is this appropriate for our target audience? And then, yeah. I mean, they didn't even have to censor Jibanyan later in the segment. He is just a cat. But I'm going to get into this a little further. Basically, this entire first part of the episode also Whisper dabs, I think. I looked away a moment and I see Whisper in a dabbing motion, so that's a thing. Like, even Shogunyan. I would give Shogunyan a benefit of the doubt, but no. Apparently, this is a competition held every year, ever since Keita-kun or Nate was a small boy. And it's continually happened, and I don't blame Fumi-chan. I do not blame Katie at all in this episode, because what she was exposed to would horrify anyone of her age. Like seeing a male classmate like fly down is something that young ladies should not see at their age. And then even Jibanyan gets in on it. Nate is so lucky that yokai like machismo exists. And yokai like, no more! Yeah, if those yokai weren't around, his pence points would be much higher. I mean, even Jibanyan did betrayal. Now I'm happy his Haramaki got dirty. But the episode ends, or the segment ends, with Nate's zipper breaking and Nate being unable to zip up his pants. Even after Namor's power, it was when he Hulkamania'd up after Machismo helped unfreeze him that he had the final nail in his coffin with Katie. They are never ever getting married, even though we know they do. I mean, if this was the precursor of this entire thing, if this was the one episode you saw of Yokai Watch, and then you watch Shadow Side, you would be thinking, how are they married? Like, there's no forward progression for that, but we're not going to harp on that. We're going to focus on the fact that maybe Koma-san and Komajiro can learn how to use stairs. Maybe. And then we'll go to the Haramaki segment. Jibanyan wakes up from his nap. Hadabak's like, where's your Haramaki? Jibanyan looked everywhere for it. Turns out Whisper had afternoon coffee and spilled it all over Jibanyan's Haramaki and on the floor. I really want to say this, guys. This is my opinion, but this series has made me not like Whisper. Because Whisper is a ghost. Whisper is a spirit. Whisper does not need to open doors like by knocking, because we've seen Whisper pass through objects, sleep through the floor. I mean, it would have made more sense for Whisper to just like phase through, because there's nothing in Whisper's hands. And Whisper was embarrassing Keita. Hasn't exactly been very worthy of the title of Ghost Butler, if I would have to think about it, because all he does is use the Y pad. And occasionally hand Keita-kun medals and keys and such of the like. Medals and orcs, I mean. But there's just certain things that get me, guys. I don't hate Whisper, but Whisper is definitely one of the yokai I dislike the most. Because I know initially I probably said hate. I dislike Whisper as much as I dislike Professor. I'm putting them on the same tier unless they change how Whisper is being written. He will be on Pooh tier with Professor. But we get the little flashback of how Whisper spilled coffee. You shouldn't have been showboating to no one, Whisper. Because that's what happened, and then Whisper went and did dry cleaning and then grabbed the wrong thing. And then snuck the wrong thing back upstairs to Jibanyan after eating a coffee cup and a coffee cup tray. And then officers Koma-san and Komajiro appear with the dirty Haramaki, and they show it to Whisper and Jibanyan. Jibanyan then rocks Whisper's world, and then we transition to the Gekijo, the theater segment. And this theater segment is Little Red Riding Hood with Whisper as the grandma wolf in the bed. And may I say, Little Red Gargaros, yeah, is hilarious. Little Red Professor, poop tier, but Whisper deserves that. Little Red Koma-san, that is just what cuteness is made out of. It almost saved the episode for me. it almost saved the episode. Had there been other certain things that could have really built stuff a little bit better, and Gargaros punching Whisper. Yeah, those are like the silver linings for me. And No More and No Way being in the episode, because they are a couple yokai I really, really like. Some of my favorites. In Limelight, or in retrospect here. Also, guys, I'm not saying basically as much, or I'm trying to not. I'm trying to train my mind not to say that as much. But we're, 12 episodes in, 13 episodes in, and the proper progression for the relationship between Keita-kun and Fumi is not going anywhere. Keita-kun's friendship with Bear and Koji, we got some Bear plot development and friendship development with the episode before this. But Koji or Eddie, there hasn't been much friendship building even within the series, even for Jibanyan and Keita-kun. There's not really been any of that good synergy, and with us being this far in and them not using Komami and Komaka-chan for the Koma 4 comms, I feel like they're missing out on using them, because it could be really good, and the Koma 4 comms could actually become Koma family segments, and it could be good. Not like the search for Komami, because I swear, if they do the search for Komami again, where we're searching for Komami, and the Koma bros already know what Komami looks like, my brain will explode. I would like them to focus more on Keita's life as well. I mean, they can do multi-segments, but they really need to stop embarrassing him and start building him up a little bit. Especially if they're going to plan to ever make a Yokai Watch 5 game. We have to at least be able to respect Keita-kun or Nate a little bit. Because right now, ask yourself, if you were playing as Keita-kun, would you respect Keita-kun? Or if you were a character in this universe, would you think of him as nothing but a silly child? And I'm using this in a polite tense. I'm not saying that Keita is not intelligent. I'm saying that the situations Keita have been in has been very embarrassing and very silly, but this is still better than 2019. So that's the silver lining. This episode is probably C tier. I'm not going to go any lower than that, because that's mean. As a reviewer, we have to walk that thin line. But Whisper is definitely starting to become rather apparent as a character that I am very much disliking. It's kind of like how I started out disliking Motaro during Y Academy or Y Gakuen, but then grew to like Motaro. So I'm hoping that we get a little bit of full circle effect, and that I can go back to liking Whisper. But yeah, that's it for the review. Love and appreciate you all. Bye bye.